everybody. Kelly here. Welcome to Patriot Over 50. Because why? I'm well over 50. Okay. Oh, it's the same old thing. We all see it going on. We probably hear it every day, or at least I do. And if you watch the news or on the internet or look at any kind of social media, you will run across the the discourse that's going on in the country. It's terrible what's happening. And so I was thinking to myself, is it the right? Is it the left? Is it both? Am I just crazy when I think it's coming more from one side? And I asked myself, like, why do I hear so much hate talk and talk of violence and that making violence okay against certain people? And it's coming from the left so much more. I mean, I really don't hear it coming from the right. Am I just like blinded by it? Am I making it up? Is it my imagination? Or is it because I refuse to watch the Main Street news channels? And so so I started questioning myself, and I decided that I'm not imagining this. And there is certainly a trend going on in this country. And there's documented evidence even that it's escalating. It's like it just seems to be getting worse and worse, more and more every day. And it's coming from the left, especially targeting conservatives. And much of it is underreported or reframed, that's a nice way to put it, by mainstream media. So let's break down what's really going on. And this isn't about politics, although politics inevitably is involved in this. But this is about truth. And why do I hear it more from the left? A big part of it is media bias. Media plays a major role. Outlets like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, and CBS often downplay or ignore or change the truth, also known as outright lie, about the threats of violence, while they amplify the right-wing incidents, if there ever is one. Like last week, they made such a huge deal out of like 3 college young Republicans that were having a private conversation, and they said some not so nice things. And they freaked out because of that. And I'm wondering, do they not hear themselves talk? What do they not hear what they're saying? I mean, they are 100 times worse what comes out of their mouths. It just, I'm so puzzled at how they don't see themselves or hear themselves. It blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. And so the Main Street media creates a distorted perception of exactly who is inciting what, because they don't tell the truth. And I know I'm tuned into independent sources, so I'm going to hear what's really going on from the left, because I watch like Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Ian Carroll. Those are just a few. I have a few more that I watch, but not too many more. But they give the facts, and it's 99% bad coming from the left. And since I do avoid legacy media, I am more likely to hear unfiltered reports of leftist aggression, like the throat slashing gesture by Texas Democrat Jones, or the quote, killed Donald Trump that was scrawled on weapons used in a school shooting. And another reason is that leftist rhetoric has grown more militant. From Antifa-style activism to calls for deprogramming Trump supporters, some progressive circles have normalized hostility toward the right. This includes violent metaphors, threats, and even real-world attacks. I mean, they'd be happy if we were dead. They say it. Okay, so who's actually fueling this fire? I say both sides have extremists. That's for sure. So, okay, just let me put that out there. I know there's extremists on both sides, but that's not really what I'm talking about. It says that recent data shows a surge in left-wing political violence, especially after Trump's return to power. The left has weaponized language like stochastic terrorism to censor conservative speech while simultaneously tolerating or glorifying violent acts against right-leaning figures. Selective outrage is rampant coming from the left. When violence targets conservatives, it's often reframed as mental illness or they're just protesting. When it targets the left, we're called terrorists. Yep, it's labeled terrorism. What the data shows. A Pew survey found that 77% of Republicans see left-wing extremism as a major problem, while 76% of Democrats say the same about right-wing extremism. Experts admit political violence is rising across the board, but recent high-profile attacks like the assassination of Charlie Kirk have come from the left. Let me scroll down my notes. The bottom line, you hear more leftist hate talk because I'm not being gaslit by corporate media because of the shows I watch. 2, the left has increasingly embraced violent rhetoric as a tool of political warfare. And 3, the cultural gatekeepers often excuse or ignore violence when it targets conservatives. We're told that political violence is a right-wing problem, that conservatives are the threat, that if we just silence them, censor them, deprogram them, America will be safe again. But what if that's a lie? Because while the media obsesses over January 6th, they ignore the Molotov cocktails, the death threats, the mobs outside conservative homes. They ignore the fact that a Bernie supporter tried to assassinate Republican congressman at a baseball field. They ignore the trans shooter who targeted a Christian school and left behind a manifesto they still won't release. I hear the hate. I'm sure you do too. I see the calls for violence, open, unashamed, coming from the left. And I'm not talking about fringe trolls. I'm talking about elected officials, blue check influencers, and activist groups who say it's self-defense to attack people for wearing a red hat. They call it justice, but it's vengeance, it's revenge. They call it activism, but it's abuse. And if you dare to speak up, you're labeled a threat. You're called a terrorist. You're called a Nazi. It's all a danger to, and we're called a danger to democracy. They are actually the danger. It's not just about who throws the first punch. It's about who justifies it, who cheers it on, who covers it up. I'm not here to defend violence from any side, but I won't stay silent while one side gets a free pass to dehumanize, threaten, and destroy. Because truth matters. And if we don't call it out loud now, we'll lose more than just our voices. We'll lose our country. That's what's happening. We've got to stop it, y'all. So please, like I always say, use your voice, be loud and proud, and call out the violence, the rhetoric, the horribleness that's going on around you. I'm going to do a deep dive for my next film, so you can join me for a follow-up video that dives into 3 explosive examples of left-wing rhetoric and violence. I'm going to talk about the Nashville Covenant School shooting manifesto, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and Hillary Clinton's call for formal deprogramming of Trump supporters. I didn't know about that one, so that should be pretty interesting. In the meantime, get out and vote when it's time. Use your voice, and I will see you next time on Patriot Over 50. Thanks for being here.